Welcome to Hot Seat Trading. I've been doing a deep dive here in this last week, and I'm really excited with what the things I'm going to share you guys. Hopefully, you guys can join in the journey and getting excited. I'm glad, though, I've taken a couple days to digest this information so that I can present it to you guys in the manner of which I hope that you receive it. I just want to make sure that it comes across the way that I intend it to come across, because you guys can have multiple different types of emotions with what I'm about to present today. So I'm in the hot seat today. So that's my job. My job is to guys to kind of take you on a journey. Now, the journey that I'm going to be taking you on today is one of which I want everybody to participate in. It's not just my journey. It's not Nick's journey. It's not Josh's journey. It's our journey. I thought about this for a while. When we first started Trade the Fund, I honestly did not have an idea of what it was going to be. In fact, I didn't, when I really first came up with the name Trade the Fund, it was to promote apiary, right? And that was that was the idea around Trade the Fund, was I was just going to use it as a marketing tool to promote apiary. Well, it didn't really fit. So if those of you guys who are on the journey with us, then I'm like, well, I can't really take it very far. So we started with a name change of trading leagues, and we were going down that path of trading leagues because we're like, okay, we can expand the vision of trading leagues a little bit further than Trade the Fund. So I was going down that journey about a year ago, was what can we do with trading leagues? And then when I decided to go off on my own, I'm like, well, I could stay with trading leagues, but it was something that Sean wanted to develop and go further. So I'm like, all right, I won't take trading leagues. I think eventually he'll probably you do something under the banner of trading leagues. So I'm like, well, I'll go back to Trade the Fund. And then I had in the summertime, I'm like, well, what is it? What is Trade the Fund? And then I'm like, well, it's simple. It's trade any fund, all funds, everybody's fund. If somebody wants to fund me, I'll trade you. And that was the idea that was born. And we started trading. And in July, we introduced to you guys the Forex or Forex. And that took me a little while because I was worried about you guys blowing up your accounts and doing it in 4 accounts versus just 1 account, right? So it took me a little while to introduce that to you. We shift gears from going from 1% a day in 1 account to just a 1/4% into 4 accounts. And yes, a lot of you guys in the very beginning did blow up your accounts. Did do that. So I'm like, let's trade demos. Let's get acclimated. Let's push the buttons. We created our own EAs. I think that are both working phenomenal from where they were. We're now starting to reap the benefits. Like when we first started this journey of Trade the Fund, nobody was making money or getting payouts from prop firm companies outside of Apiary Fund. And now we're at that stage where you guys are starting to make money, where you're starting to get checks, you're starting to understand what it takes to unlock different prop firm companies. Now I want to take the journey and go one step further. And so in our evolution phase, the majority of the traders here that we have with us, I would probably say are not new traders. I'm still want to cater to new traders and bring them on and bring them aboard. But the community here is more intermediate traders. Like if I say put a buy on, you guys know what I'm talking about. If I say put a sell on, you know what I'm talking about. But we got to go back and have new conversations. And so that's where the hot seat turns into the fast track. And we had that with John yesterday. You know, it was his first time kind of trading the way that we trade. Not his first time trading, but his first time kind of trading the way that we trade. And so there was a lot of new stuff. And so that was really great to see. And we're going to have that continuation. We're going to also have the community that is level 1, level 2, and level 3. I keep talking about it. But the journey is now, guys. It's time to level up our game. All right. What I want to talk to you guys about is the road to a million. The road to a million, like I've said before, is not a road to $1 million. It's not a road to $1 million in trading capital. It's not to a road to making $1 million in your bank account. Although it can be, and that's a good thing. That's the byproduct of what the road to a million is, but that's not the focal point. The focal point is getting you set up with all the million different things that it's going to take to start becoming successful in the market. Now, for those of you guys who who have been with Apiary for more than a year, how many accounts would you guys trade on a daily basis? Like every single day? Would it just put like, was it one? Was it two? How many accounts would you guys trade every single day? Yeah, and that's kind of what I thought, right? One to two. One to two accounts every single day. And that's the thing. And that's what I'm trying to present to you guys. I didn't realize it. I was in the same boat that you guys were in. I was just trying to trade one account, put all my eggs in that basket and try to make money with it. How infuriating was it when you would be successful in that account and then you would have a drawdown in that account? You would take a hit and you were like, well, there goes a week's worth of work, a month's worth of work. We've all felt that pain. If you're only trading one or two accounts, that's what's going to happen. And we have all been there. We put all our eggs in one basket. And if we have a bad day, it could wipe us out for a long period of time. And that's the cycle for years you guys were in. And I was there too, right there with you for years. Everybody was in that cycle. And now I'm trying to come to you today to break that chain, break that cycle. And you're going to need to do that for your own mental fortitude and in trading in general. It was not until a year ago that I realized that you should be trading multiple accounts. And guess who taught me that? My mentor, Sean. I didn't even, it was one of those things where I knew he was doing it, but I didn't put two and two together until I was ready. In fact, if you go on my YouTube channel, he talks about it. He did a YouTube video on Trade the Funds channel about trading multiple accounts, right?
Yes, you did one Wednesday night, yeah. Remember.
And it's not necessarily about trading multiple prop firms. That's not what his video is about. To be successful, you cannot put all your eggs in one basket. We need to have an awakening. And today, that's what I'm trying to give you is an awakening that you're never going to hit your goals that you want if you put all your eggs in one basket. You just aren't, right? And you need to trade apiary. You need to trade your own. You need to trade another prop firm. You need to trade multiple accounts. You need to find a way to ensure that you're comfortable. And that's where I come in. I've never done it before to the magnitude that I'm doing it now. I have 20 accounts that I trade. This is brand new territory for me personally. It's brand new territory for a lot of people, as this type of trading wasn't really around. You would never be able to have 20 accounts up till like 2020, 2021. So we're kind of the front runner in figuring out how to manage this, not just physically, but psychologically as well. And so we're taking that step forward in how do we manage multiple accounts. But I'm here to tell you, I'm never going back as long as I can, because of the stress and pressure that is lifted. Because if I have a bad day in one account or four accounts, because I Forex my Forex, it doesn't ruin a month's worth of work. How rewarding psychologically is that? Where I can just put it to the back burner and work on fixing it. And I have other accounts that I'm still making money on. Like, how rewarding is that psychologically?
Happened to me yesterday. It's great.
Where you're not panicking because you had a drawdown in one account. Where a year ago or 2 years ago, if we're only trading one or two accounts and we have a bad day, it ruins our entire week, our entire psyche. We're forced to step away for 24 hours because apiary knows that once you risk out, you're not going to make good decisions. And they know that. And so they say, nope, cool down for 24 hours. And then how many of us when we risked out, we're like, hey, when's my 24 hours up? I'm ready to go. Right? We had to sit on the fence waiting for that clock to turn until we could trade again. Majority of us have been there. So with what I'm about to present to you, I hope that you take it through that lens of account protection, but more importantly, psychology protection. We'll protect ourselves from us. Because if we only have one or two accounts that we care deeply about, we're going to make mistakes in that account. And then when we make a mistake, or I shouldn't say mistake, we're going to get into a situation where we're going to have a drawdown. And then when that happens, the natural tendency is to get blinded or all of a sudden lose our clarity of thought because we're like, oh boy, what did I just do? The world's collapsing on me. I just lost a week's worth of work in 2 minutes. That is undue stress. That is undue pressure that nobody needs to put themselves in. And I'm speaking from experience without sounding too conceited or cocky. I think that that's the value that I can bring to the table is that I've experienced similar emotions and done everything that you guys have done. And I'm like, why? I'm the one that's questioning why, how to change it so that trading is fun and trading is easy. Because when I had one account or two accounts, it was not fun to take a drawdown. I mean, it's not fun to take a drawdown, let's be honest, but it was really, I added so much more stress and pressure. If you guys have done this, I remember, like I shared the story in my very first personal account that I ever entered. My wife wasn't allowing me to do a big account. So the most that she allowed me to do was I was able to only put in about $1,500 into the market. Now I know that that's ridiculous, but at that time, that's what she felt comfortable with allowing me to trade. So I'm like, all right, so I'm going to do that. Put $1,500 in. It took me 6 months to turn that into $10,000. And in 2 days, I lost it all. Right. And to me, it wasn't about the dollar amount. It was about the 6 months of work that I lost. And the reason why I lost 6 months of work was because the moment that I had a big drawdown, I had to get it all back. And I was trading stupid and I was trading scared and I was trading with revenge and I had all those emotions because I had to get it all back. And in 2 days, I lost everything. And if you have not experienced a loss of that magnitude, not dollar amount, but of I just lost all the work that I did, then you haven't traded long enough. I draw back from that experience and I tell you guys this, that had I had multiple accounts, had I had trained myself to be like, well, that was just a bad day, I would have stopped trading that account and moved on to a different account. That's the whole impetus of the road to $1 million, is that we need to get ourselves prepared structurally for the opportunities that we can take, and be also prepared for the days when our opportunity is not in profit, but it's in to lessen our drawdowns. Our opportunity is no longer to make money. Our opportunity is to cut off before the catastrophic happens, before we pull a dookie, right? That's a terminology for you guys new, blowing up your accounts, right? If we have multiple accounts, it makes it so much easier to do that. So that being said, I want to share a few things with you guys here really quick on the road to $1 million. So the first thing that I want to share with you guys is the stats. I want to share with you guys that what you guys have done is nothing short of amazing. With what you guys have done already to date is nothing short of this is awesome. And so I'm going to share with you guys the stats from when I started tracking stats from September 1, when we started Forexing our Forex from September 1, when we started trading multiple accounts was September 1 of this year. And here is the raw stats from everybody from September 1 all the way down to yesterday. And you see, you know, we had some losing days, all that kind of stuff in here, but our average starting balance was 50,000, right? And here's all the stats and, you know, that we have been doing every single day. And our average starting balance is $50,000. Our average daily return is 0.5%. In the 2 hours of trading, in just 2 hours of trading, well, okay, let's be honest. So if we were to average that out, it'd be more than 2 hours because we've had some marathon sessions. But in the 2 hours of supposed trading, we've averaged 0.5% every single day. Our average profit is $249. In 20 days of trading, we generate about $5,000. If you Forex your Forex, which most of you guys have done, that'd be around $1,000 a day. In 20 days of trading, that's about 20,000. In 74 days, if you would have taken the same trades that we took in our class every single morning and didn't do anything else, you would have generated $18,000 in your account,
Including the losing trades?
including the losing trades. If you
Awesome.
were to Forex that, you would have generated $73,000 in your trading account from September 1 to today. Those are the hard facts. That is what we are doing every single day, every 2 hours a day. Now, I don't know if that's going to continue, and I don't know if I want it to continue. And I'm just going to say that because I want to bring on new traders. We were not averaging this when I was teaching. Every day was a new day. Every day was okay, why did you just do that day? Right? But we've gone beyond that with the hot seaters to the point where we started getting people coming in who were new and saying, well, what are you doing? I don't understand this. And so I'm like, well, we got to go back to the basics. And that's where the fast track people come in and we're having those conversations. John, it was so awesome to see yesterday. And I'm only mentioning your session because it's top of mind, but you were asking the same questions that Josh was asking when he was starting, or doing the same thing that Pete was doing when he was starting, right? And saying the same things. And I was just like, you know, I was feeling like, okay, now I'm not a grandparent, but now I can feel like what a grandparent feels like when the grandkids give their kids the revenge. Yeah, you did the same thing to me, buddy. Right?
Nice.
So I'm excited to see the evolution of everybody, and we're gonna lift all ships, right? And we're gonna lift everybody up. So I do think we're gonna probably take a step back as we're bringing on new people, and as we get more and more people, we may do some other things that are different. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. But guys, this is what I'm truly, truly, truly inspired by and amazed that we have been doing this. And this is the cold hard facts. These are the numbers. So the question is, are you doing it? That's the question. Are you following along? Are you taking the same trades that we take? And the answer is no, you're not. And that's okay. I'm not saying you need to take, I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying here's the stats. That's over 3 months of trading. I want to do it for a year. Well, you know, I'd like to have a year's worth of stats, and we'll get to that. But that's a pretty impressive stat. I am going to do a marketing test. I'm just going to tell you guys, this is a marketing test where I'm going to take somebody who has never placed a trade in their life And I'm going to tell them that they need to take the same trades we take for 2 hours every single morning, and they can't do anything different. We're going to see how it works just for a month. We're going to try that and take that test just for a month. Can somebody in 30 days make more money than a trader of 5 years by just simply doing that? So that's yeah. Well, I'm not going to have Josh mentor them, so Hilarion, we're safe on that.
Phew. I heard that.
Mind your
Ouch.
business. I was thinking about this. It was like just for marketing, right? Just to see if that happens, just so I could come back to you guys and say, why are you not doing this if somebody brand new can do it? All right. So pretty excited about these stats, right? That we have averaged 0.5% every single day. Yes, and that does include Pete's first hot seat session where he ruined my stats, but it's still better than the first hot seat session that I had with some of the instructors. So, yeah, I wasn't going to mention your name, Josh Hunter.
Mind your business.
All right. So here's the stats. This is what we're talking about. So the road to $1 million looks like this. This is what I want you guys to do to participate in the road to $1 million. I've kind of created 4 different phases. Phase 1 is we're going to start working on our A group. So phase 1 is our A group. And phase 1 is going to go from January to March. Now, I didn't necessarily want to put a timeline on here to say that if you miss out on, you can start phase 1 at any time. But the phases is going to be 3 months, but we're going to start this phase in January. So whenever you start, you can probably plan on about 3 months. 3 months of each phase. So we're all going to start this in January if you guys are with us and want to take the same journey of a road to $1 million. So this is what I want you guys to do to get prepared for our January when we start trading together in January. So I've asked everybody to get a $10,000 funding PIP. Now, I don't know what your financial situation is. So we're starting out with something that I think everybody who is a trader should be able to afford. That's why I'm choosing funding PIPs, because they have the least barrier to entry right now. So if you have not created a funding PIP account, here's the promo code. If you use this promo code with my affiliate link, you get an extra 5% off on that. So for $50, for less than $50, you can unlock a $10,000 account. I personally want you guys to do that. I want you guys to get your first 10K funded account. If you don't have a funded account, you need to do that. If you're only trading apiary fund, you need to get 2 accounts that you care about. You need to get 3 accounts that you care about. If you've never done this before, you have to also put in your brain that you're going to lose these accounts. It's going to happen. You don't want it to happen, but it's going to happen. And your journey to $1 million, you have to understand that you're going to take a few steps back, right? It's not all going to be, we're just going to do it and life is going to be roses and everything's going to be great. You have to attribute that you're going to take a few steps back. The beautiful thing about this is that it's a one-time only payment, but you're going to need to buy in a couple times. So that's what I'm saying. Buy the $10,000 for less than $50 right now. If you blow it up or destroy it, it's only $50. I'm not asking you to go in and get a $5,000 or $500 account. It still will teach you the same emotions. And I would rather have you go through those emotions at $50 than $500. It will teach you the same emotions on how to do it. So that's why this is phase 1, is really to go through the emotions, really to get the multiple accounts set up so that you get your psychology right. You get your psychology right, and then you can start duplicating the process. So phase 1, January to March. This right now, go out and get a funding PIPs account, right? Then I want you to go out and get a 5% or high stakes account. Now, I've not been promoting this. This is the first time that I've mentioned 5%ers because I did not like their leverage. This is what they're doing. This is the reason why I want this as part of your second account. The funding pips, honestly, I love them. I never thought I'd love them as much as I do just because of their commissions or spreads, all that kind of stuff. It makes it super easy. The funding pips far supersedes my returns than any other account that I'm trading right now. So that, to me, that's a win. All right. So with the fivers and the high stakes challenge, right? This is the one that I want you to be on because of their scaling plan. And it's going to take a while to get there. And you guys can choose a 5K or 20K. But I would recommend that if you've never done this before, go start with the 5K. The 5K is a $39 cost. Again, a low barrier to entry. It's a low barrier to entry, and you can continue to buy into a $30, $50 account if you lose it, where you might not be able to continue to do that at a higher dollar amount. So the thing about the high stakes challenge with fivers is their scaling plan, that after a certain amount of time that you guys crack the code, you'll start to see their scaling plan. Now, you do, in order to get their scaling plan, you do need to make 10% a month, but that's our journey, right? Is 10% a month that we'll be able to start hitting. The leverage is 1 to 100. Love that. But here's the scaling plan, is that when you start at 5,000, you can work your way all the way up eventually to where they'll give you $350,000 in capital. You'll keep 100%, and they'll start giving you a $4,000 a month salary. This is the only one that I know that has the lowest barrier to entry, but their scaling plan starts to pay you a salary. Now, exactly. I was hoping somebody would ask that question. How do they make money if they give you 100% and a $10,000 a month salary on a $5,000 account? I like this, where a new trader would be like, well, that sounds scammy. That sounds fishy. But what they're doing is you're providing them a trading signal. That's what you're doing. And they're paying you for that signal, right? So they're using your trades to generate a lot more money, so they're okay to pay you that. So we talk a little bit about in institutional, this is when you start becoming an institutional trader. We talked a little bit about those 2 and 20 contracts. It flips from retail to institution. And so you're just selling your signals. That's what you're doing. You're selling your signals and to all these multiple hedge funds. That's why I chose to align this company with the journey to $1 million, is for this fact and this reason alone, that if you're copy trading into it, eventually you're going to get that aha moment. Eventually this will happen. And so might as well start that journey in phase 1, because it's going to take time to get there. So start that journey in phase 1. So phase 1, we're going to open up a small little account. So we're going to have 2 accounts. So come January, you're going to, $50, $30, whatever. You're going to have 2 accounts, right? I still want you to Forex your Forex, but 2 of those accounts can be demo, because I want you to get in the habit of creating a group A. So you have 4 accounts that you're copy trading into. You got the technology. It's not an issue. You know how to copy trade into 4 accounts. So this is group A, phase 1, 2 funded accounts, 2 live accounts that you care about, 2 demo accounts just for the technology. The next phase, once you pass these and are start into live, what we're going to do is phase 2. We take the profits. So remember, they'd refund you your money and you make profits. You take the profits that you generate in phase 1 to pay for phase 2. So we take the profits. Phase 2 is going to be about March to May. You pass funding pips, you pass fivers, you get a refund from that. You take that money, and then you purchase an aqua funded account and you purchase a FTMO. Now, aqua funded is only here because of the low barrier to entry. For $100,000, it's the cheapest one that I've seen. I'm not saying that you have to go to these companies, but I'm using these as this is what I would do. So you purchase a $100,000 account in phase 2 and from Aqua and another one from FTMO. So now we have two $100,000 accounts. We still have our scaling plan that we're working on over here. And we have a $10,000 account, and that's our group A. So after we pass our first 100K accounts, we're going to move to phase 3. And when we start grouping, we're going to start our group B. You got to make sure that when you're grouping that you do not trade the same company in that group. If you have two accounts from the same company, you need to separate them from your groups, because almost everybody has a nope, you can't copy trade into a FTMO into an FTMO. A lot of companies will frown upon that. They'll let you have multiple accounts. You just can't copy from one account to another. All right. Phase 3, May to July. We're going to merge your account with funding pips, the 10K, into a $100,000 account. You just simply send them an email saying, I'd like to merge this into a $100,000 account. We're going to go and we're going to get 4 accounts. We're just going to use our profits again. We're going to merge the 10 into 100. Then we're going to purchase another $100,000 account with them. We're going to purchase a $100,000 account with fivers. Again, who you purchase this is up to you. So I'm just saying this could ultimately change, but the theory is you get 4 $100,000 accounts, right? On phase 3, we create group B right out of the gate. We get 4 $100,000 accounts. Now we have group B. Once we get group B, we have group A, we have group B. Then we move on to phase 4, which we get 2 $100,000 accounts. Okay. And that creates group C. Now you have $1 million in trading capital because you have 10 accounts that you're trading at $100,000 accounts. So if you are trading $1 million, 10 accounts, this is kind of funny for those of you guys old hot seaters. This is funny. It's going to cost you about $5,000 to get $1 million in funded accounts. That's the cost. It's going to cost you around $5,000 to get $1 million in trading capital. But with that trading capital, at just a 0.25% a day, you can generate about 50K in 20 days of trading. So isn't that funny? It all comes back full circle. We are now back to 5 to 50K. Thought we started with 5 to 50 and we're right back to it. So those are some for the original hot seat, right? Original hot seat was to take $5,000 and grow it into a $50,000 account. That was the original thought a year ago. That's what we were doing. So it all comes back full circle. It's going to cost us now $5,000 to get $1 million in trading capital. If we average 0.5% every single day in our 2 hours of trading and $1 million capital, if you're doing that, it starts to move the needle. And this is not a screenshot that I want to really spend a lot of time on, but it's something that we need to talk about. If it takes you a year to get here, it's still worth it. If it takes you 2 years to get here, it's still worth it. If it takes you 5 years to get here, it's still worth it. And if you're not making that because you're struggling, but you're making some of that, it's the idea of a road to $1 million is, can we start generating income in February? That's the goal. Is not how much, it's that everybody in the community is starting to make money every single day. We're shifting our live hot seat sessions from 90% demo, maybe 80% demo, to 80% live. So that when we make money in those hot seat sessions, the community can join in on the benefits of doing that. So we're going from demo to live mentality. So we're just shifting the mentality in 2024 from demo accounts to live accounts. And I'm asking everybody to join in on that journey, because I do not ever want to hear from a community member that I can't afford the $50 a month subscription to trade the fund. This is the impetus of what I'm trying to pull out, where I can say, if you take the same trades we take, it'll pay you more than $50. That's my goal. That's my journey. That is the whole reason why I'm putting this together, is so that everybody can participate and that I never have to hear that again, right? I never have to hear that again, that I can't afford the $50 a month. That to me is a give up statement, that I'm giving up on trading. I'm giving up on this system. Everything is a give up statement. This is the road to $1 million, is not $1 million. It's not $1 million in trading capital. It really is all the million little things that we need to do so that we can never say, I can't afford the $50 a month. That is the journey. And I hope to be able to get this with our community, to be able to say, why would anybody not want to pay that? So I'm flipping the script from I can't afford it to I cannot not afford it. That's the journey that I hope you guys will follow. Hope you guys will take this journey with me. I know it's going to be a little scary, because I'm going to ask you to do things that you've never done before. For the majority of you guys have never traded more than 2 accounts. Majority of you guys. It's going to be a little scary. John, I'm going to pick on you a little bit, but I was still amazed that you had not even gone through the Forex course and started this. You guys, and that just was like proof to me you don't understand the power of what we're trying to put together. And I hope that from this presentation, you're now starting to get a glimpse of what we're going to be able to achieve together. Because if you knew that all I needed to do is spend $5,000 to get $1 million in trading capital and make 0.25% a day, I'm at 50,000. That should move the needle for anybody out there. It should. And if it doesn't, Brandon, then we need to, find something else for you.
You're on the right path.
Okay, we're almost there. Almost moving the needle for him. Right? So, and it's a journey. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's something that I feel comfortable and confident that this community can do, or I wouldn't be presenting it to you. I'd love to answer these 2 questions. These are the questions that I want to answer as a community. The most common question that I get asked all the time from new traders is, how long is it going to take for me to make money? The next question that I like to be able to answer is, are you making more than what you're spending? This is really the biggest question, or that I want to be able to answer. Are you making more in the market than what you're spending in education? And if the answer is no, well, that's what I aim to fix. I don't want to make wage claims, right? So that's the biggest thing that'll destroy this, is that if anybody ever says, well, join Trade the Fund and you're making $50,000 a month. No, but what I hope to do is show the stats of what we have done, and then let you guys draw the connections.
Hey, Dave,
Right? Yeah.
I've got a sort of an analogy that I think that works for me anyway, in terms of, are you making more than you're spending? If you go to college, even if it's a 2-year college, and you plug down that money, you're not making any money on that education, but you've paid it in anticipation and you're learning, and that you will recover that money and more over your lifetime. Just to put it in perspective, I'm 65 years old. If I'm willing to wait for a year or even 2 years, which I don't think it's going to take that long to get to where I want to be. I know I'm older than a lot of you guys. If you're in your 40s or your 30s or your 20s, you've got your whole life ahead of you. So 1 year or 2 years is nothing. That's just my thought.
No, I agree with you. Majority of the people here have already invested that in trading. Majority of the people have invested more than 2 years in trading here in this community,
way more,
right?
And way more money.
And the majority of the people probably would say I spent more money than I've received at this point in
Absolutely.
their trading.
Yes.
So that was the driving factor for the road to $1 million. Honestly, it was, can we make more money than what you're spending in education? If you're just starting out, you need to find that right mentor. You need to find that right person that you can spend the money, and you need to spend the money for somebody to teach you how to trade and get up to that speed. But there comes a point where, unfortunately, we can get into well, this didn't work for me. This didn't work for me. This didn't work for me. And I'm not saying that this is going to work for everybody, because let's face it, we scalp, and scalping is the most difficult thing to do in the trading industry. If you want to learn price action and you want to learn how the market behaves,
Yes.
you're going to learn that so much faster on the 1 minute and 5 than you'll ever do on your day trading. And so your education is so much faster.
If you learn how we learn on the 1 minute, if you then go up to the higher time frames, it's almost
The
a
same.
piece of cake to pull gold. When I was reviewing this other Discord group, they're on the higher time frames and they had no idea. They were schizophrenic. They were pulling out stop losses, this. And I'm looking at them going, what are you guys doing? Just calm down. But they did not have the skill set that we have. So having multiple trading methods, like we talked about, the overnight trades, which is long term, and then also scalping, I think that to me is the perfect education.
I would not be as successful with my overnight tradings if I didn't understand market behavior and market structure. And I wouldn't be able to understand
100%.
that. I wouldn't be able to
100%.
understand that without being able to be a scalper. I mean, at the magnitude that I do, right?
Dave,
But yeah,
what I see here, based on what I have been around with online trading academy, marketing institute, is the structure that is provided in this. For example, if I get into the market, I can look at it and I can determine if it's ranging, it's trending, it's outside range, all of those things. And then there is some kind of rules and how you're to handle it. When I look at the others, it's all, to me, from my experience, it's all hype. So once there's structure here and you can use and you understand it, you can apply it to the higher level, the higher chart time frames. So that's the main thing for me, the structure that is provided. And if you're following the structure, then you're bound to be profitable.
So I appreciate the comment. I understand what you're saying. And I was about ready to feed into the reason why. Scalping is very hard. You will have more risk outs. You will hit 5% more as a scalper than you'll ever do in any other style. But you're also, in my opinion, going to be consistent once you understand all the education. Once you, and you guys do for the most part. I mean, you guys have been doing this for 3+ years. You understand a lot. The biggest problem that we have as scalpers, and something that I'm on the road to $1 million, that I'm going to be starting and hitting it in your face over and over and over is that once you figure it out and once you start pulling money out of the market, the hardest thing for us to do as scalpers is to stop. That's the hardest thing for us to do as scalpers. Right? And I'm not even going to try to say why, because it's going to be different for every single person. It's going to be different for every single person as to why they're not stopping trading for that day, that session, that week. Why do we continue to trade in accounts that we care about when I say don't trade in an account you care about, but yet you still do?
It's exhilarating.
Because this is what you need to control. Right?
It's the emotional high, you know, as a scalper, you made quick profits, you get into an emotional high and blinds you.
I love that you said that, Duke, because how long have I been trying to drill this to you personally?
Over a year.
Over
and
a
it only
year.
dawned. Only recently, aha, clicks like this or last week.
Right? For some reason, as scalpers, it's never good enough. It's never good enough.
Yeah, because
But it always sucks worse than it. So it's like the pain is way worse than the gain because it's never good enough.
we like
Right?
the
We make 1%. Well, somebody made 5%, so we're not good enough. Well, we made 5%. Well, somebody else made 20%.
we like the challenge.
But we also like it. No, I'm not going to allow you to say that. It's not that we like the challenge. It's that for whatever reason, it's not good enough. And until you can learn to stop trading, you will never see these numbers. If I'm telling you right now that all you had to do, now I'm not saying this, but just hypothetically, all you had to do is trade 2 hours a day with us as a group, and you'd make 0.25% because that's what we've been doing. That's what we've been proving out. And you do follow along, you make 0.25%. And that's all you do every single day. You don't trade anymore. And eventually you would get $1 million in trading capital. And eventually you're going to hit this. Would you do it? Well, no, you wouldn't. You would say I would do it. But all of a sudden you would open up you would open up another trading session, or you continue to trade, or and then all of a sudden you take a loss here. And you do that. Right? And so the power of scalping is learning when to stop. And until you can figure that out, scalping will be a mystery that you will not be able to solve. Some of you guys have, and I appreciate this. I'm going to put Pete, I'm going to put you on blast here for a second, because I just had this conversation with Pete in a one-on-one as we were getting ready for his class about
what are we talking about?
How he has found the power in the stopping, where the market is no longer calling to him and saying, oh, I need to go open up my chart and see what the market's doing, even after he hit his goal. Right? Even after he hit 0.25% or after he hit a 0.5%, the market no longer calls to him that day. It's no longer the siren's call that says, come back and put a few more trades on. And until you can get to that state of mind, you'll never, ever, ever be able to be consistent. And I do believe that as a scalper, you got to be able to stop. And you got to find power in 0.25%. And when you can do that, it unlocks a ton of things. It unlocks the ability, like, I don't know where I'm at today, but I had a prove me wrong trade that I'm the nursing, and I'm just going to close out and be done with my tradings because I said I'm done live trading. But I did a prove me wrong. I traded last night, hit goal. Traded this morning with Nick, hit goal. And then did a prove me wrong while we're in this session and hit goal again. There's nothing wrong with that. But you see how I did that in 3 sessions. I didn't do it. I didn't go for 3 goals in 1 session. I hit my goal, I stopped. Next morning, hit my goal, stopped. Hit my goal, stopped. Nothing wrong with that. That's the power of stopping. And if you do have for the day, and if you are a 0.25% up, and then you go to another session and you lose that, there's nothing wrong with being at 0 for the day. Nothing wrong with that. You don't have to get it back. Stop trading. The power is in the stopping, and that is what makes a good risk manager, is when they can know when to stop. Again, don't answer the siren's call of the market. It is not your friend. It will sell you crypto. It will send you friend requests. Don't do it. Don't fall into the trap. Right?
Will always send you friend requests.
It will always send you friend requests. I love that, Lorraine, that you posted that in Trade Talk. All right. Before we jump over to questions, I know you guys have a lot of questions, but that's the road to $1 million that you guys are that we're gonna take the journey on. Is not about $1 million in trading capital. It's not about $1 million in revenue. It is about learning how to keep your money. All right. So moving on really quick, Group A, Group B. This is what I want our stats to look like in 2024. I have no idea if they will or if they won't. We're going to continue to do what we do every single day. I will tell you this much, just from September 1, that we have proven, in my mind, in the last 3 months, we've proven that we're consistent. We've proven that you can make money in the market with the 3 and 50 method. The proof is here. I knew it, but now I can say to you guys that we can do it. So you guys can jump in and say it's here. It's doing it. Now the next proof that we need to prove out is, can you guys stop? Because what happens is we do this in the morning and then you give it all back later. So can you stop trading? Personally, I get a endorphin or a high or whatever it is that you guys are calling it out there. I personally love getting in and getting out and getting done. So I have found pleasure in the stop. I would much rather trade 2 hours and move on with my day and go do other things and say, I hit my goal, I'm done trading, close the laptop or whatever it is and walk away. To me, that feeds me. Whatever that is, that feeds me. So journey to $1 million or road to $1 million, there's power of the group. Power in the grouping. We talked a little bit about it, is like, if you lose one group, you just got to replace it. Not the end of the world. Just got to replace it. You need to have multiple accounts that you care about, right? So the power of the group is just this. You have a group A, B, and C, and this is how I have it set up in mine. I don't have an A, B, and C because I just started with this one, and this is my hot seat account that I trade with you guys every single morning. So that I do have like A, B, and C, right? And then I have another one, but this is how I have it set up. This is my group A, and this is my group B, or whatever. This is actually A, B, and C right here. And that's why I have it set up. You double click on these groups to get into those accounts, then it automatically loads the copier on here. But that's what I do right now is I open up different accounts. It takes me a little bit of time. I'm switching the groups, but I like doing that because I like doing that knowing that I'm stopping in one group, but I'm still trading, but I'm stopping, but I'm still trading, but I'm stopping, right? And I say that so many times because the power is in the stop. You have to be able to stop trading. So stop, hit your goal, stop, hit your goal, stop, hit your goal, stop. Right? I'm going to share this with the group. I don't know if she's here. Maybe she's not. So I had a trader yesterday hit me up privately saying, you told everybody yesterday in the hot seat session that everybody in this market should have made 0.5%. And she said, now I'm going to doll you because I had already hit my goal and I stopped trading before the session. And then you told me that I needed to trade the 50% or the 0.5%.
That
right?
was me. I own up to it. I said it. Feel free to call me out.
All right. Oh, I was. I just didn't see your name. So I wasn't going to say,
No, I'm
say your name if you weren't here. So,
Yeah, Dave.
okay. So Diane said this and I quickly responded. The answer is easy. You stop trading that account and you start trading another account and you make 0.5% because that's what the market gave us easy yesterday. And I'm glad that she asked that question because that's what I'm trying to teach is like, stop trading, keep my goal, but now move on to a different account. That's what I'm trying to teach everybody. The power is in the stopping. The power is in the grouping. And I would never, ever, ever put more than 5 accounts in one group. And in fact, if you only have 4 accounts, I'd probably recommend starting the grouping in 2 accounts and 2 accounts, and then still doing demos and replace those demos when you can, so that you can the reason here is so that you can get the technology of switching out your channels. So when you're ready for live, all that kind of stuff, because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You don't want to risk out in all of your accounts because you're copy trading, because it's going to happen. You're going to take a risk out at some point. You're going to have a 5% loss at some point. It's coming. And so if you have 3 groups or maybe even 4 groups, which I'd probably say is better, then you only lose 25% of your portfolio instead of 100% of your portfolio.
Could
And
I
25% is so much easier to replace than having to start all over again. Go ahead, Diane.
So this is my huge aha moment. So I have had so many recently, but so last Wednesday, I privately messaged Pete and said, I feel like I finally know what I'm doing. Well, you've all
Then you
heard
risked out. Every time somebody says that, they risk out.
exactly. So,
And then I said, don't talk to me, Diane.
So Thursday, the next day, I was negative. So my daily risk out is 0.5%. And I kept moving that. And I finally set it at 3.5%. And with slippage, I lost 3.64%. I didn't revenge trade. I am very slowly making it back. But my big aha moment is, one, you never, ever, ever have to risk out because our software controls that for us.
Right.
And 2, my risk parameters are going to right now until I'm more comfortable with more risk, my risk parameters have to be 0.5%, period. And so my big aha moment actually today is that, you know what, some days I'm going to lose 0.5%, and that has to be okay. And every time I have moved my stop losses or changed my risk parameters to give the market, some more room, only one time have I not regretted that. Every other time I've regretted that. So, and certainly
you're starting to learn your own rules, right? That's what you're trying to create. You're starting to create those rules. Yeah.
I'm trying to encourage people that, yes, everybody is likely to blow up an account unless they set their risk parameters so that that never happens and they don't ever deviate from those risk parameters. Anyway, that's just to encourage people, set your risk parameters. If you don't want to lose a challenge account, then set your risk parameters so that you never do.
Thank you,
I'm off
Diane. I
the soapbox.
appreciate that. So
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
Off
that. This road to 1,000,000, guys, is very attainable. I'm trying to break it up into a digestible plan. There's going to be money that's going to be made along the journey. The first goal here is to make enough money to cover the cost of your education and to pay you back from what you spent. That is my ultimate goal. That is the ultimate journey that ultimately, if we can say that we're doing that as a community. My vision here is get to the point that the majority of the people during our trading sessions is making money at the end of that session versus receiving education. So you're going to get both, but how awesome is that going to be by saying, and there you guys go. We just hit 0.25% in the market. Everybody got your goal. Now we're done trading. So have a good day. We all know that the industry, the financial industry, the Forex industry, the whatever trading can make more money than any other industry out there. We also know that it has caused more people to go bankrupt than any other industry out there as well. So we just have to stay the course, learn the power of the group and the power of the stop. And if we can do that, and we can learn the power of the stop, we'll be consistent. Because how many of us would love to get in, get out, and get done every single day? When we close our laptops, we don't even have to think about trading anymore because we got our 0.25%. And we're good for the day. So again, that's what my focus is going to be on next year. You hit your goal. Do not trade more than that unless you are in a prove me wrong trade and your goal is secure. And it happens, and we love it. And it happens sometimes. It just happened to me while we're sitting here. So we love it. All right. So if you guys are new, this is your first day here. Welcome. I just unloaded a lot of information on you, but this is what I want you guys to do. I do not want anybody else to jump on in a hot seat session that is not Forexing your Forex. Hopefully I've given you guys enough excitement, told you guys enough that you need to go through the Forex your Forex course. This is not I'm not going to ask you, I'm telling you to do it. If you want to be on the journey of what we're going to be on 2024, go through the Forex your Forex course, get your Forex set up. You're missing out on a lot of opportunities and it's free to get started. It's not going to cost you anything, but it's going to help you to become a better trader. And it's going to help you to not put all your eggs in one basket. And it's going to help your psychology. And when your psychology is right, when your mind's right, your trading's right, and you are gobbling up the market. So with that, I'm just going to go through and look and see if we have questions versus comments. I appreciate you guys' comments. We've had a lot of comments coming in. If I didn't answer them, maybe recircle back and ask the question now. Steve's in. You just saw that. You just got your 2 challenges today. That's awesome. Man, you guys got a lot of comments. It's awesome. Thank you guys. I
Hey,
love
Dave.
an active comment section. Yeah.
I just clicked on one of the links here for funding pips, which I already have an account, and I haven't traded in it yet. Can we get them to switch that over to your affiliate link somehow?
You can ask, but probably not. It's some people do. I know FTMO has.
I try.
Well,
and I
you
talk to them.
traded, so I think you might have a better chance if you haven't placed a trade.
And will it
But-
make
Yeah.
a difference to your?
Yeah.
Will it make a difference to your tool for tracking stats?
No, it won't.
Okay.
With FTMO, I can see your guys' stats. Some companies I can, some companies I can't. So that's why I'm creating my own stat tracker, or that will be. I'll give that to you guys early next year or next month. it just helps give you guys a discount. Plus, it also helps that the more people that jump on the same link, affiliate link, it also helps me to get preferred status with so that we can get better discounts with Trade the Fund, all that kind of stuff. And from time to time, they actually give me free accounts that I can hand out to you guys. So I know FTMO does that, other companies do that. Papa Dan, I don't think that that's you. But what would you suggest for a newbie who doesn't know a pip from a dip? Oh, okay. I was like, I know that's not you. I would suggest, again, this is coming from a bias. I would suggest that we put them in the fast track group. They get those 3 hot seat sessions. In my mind, those 3 hot seat sessions is the best investment you could ever do as a mentor, because it's going to teach you how to push the buttons. It's going to teach you how to start trading. And at the end of those 3 sessions, it will teach the new person how to follow along in our sessions every single day and take the same trades that we take. And then they also get the courses. So if you're brand spanking new, like Pete talked about in his class Wednesday night, you need a mentor. And if you're brand spanking new, that's what that fast track does, is it gives you the mentor, right? The mentorship. There's a ton of power, and we witnessed that yesterday in John's class. John was with us for over 6 months, but until he got in that mentor seat, he had a ton of aha moments in his first ever session of like, oh, okay. I get it. You guys have been saying it, but now it's clicking. That's the power of those 3 seats, that we pick up the person with where they're at and what they need to know. And then on the other side of those 3 sessions, they're ready to take the same trades that we take on a daily basis. So I would highly, highly recommend that if anybody is brand new, that's where they start their journey. Thank you guys so much for your questions, your comments, everything that you guys have given us today. I'm super excited to take this journey with you guys on 2024. Again, no matter when you start, where you start, or how you start, it's just that you start. The journey to $1 million is there for everybody to start their own personal journey. Thank you guys so much for allowing me the opportunity to not only trade alongside you guys, but hopefully you've gleaned some information that I've found in my journey to $1 million. Now, let's start your journey. So get set up, get everything ready to go, rocking and rolling. And again, we'll see you guys early next month as we start our road to $1 million. Thanks again, and can't wait to get started.